पापा कहते हैं बड़ा नाम करेगा, बेटा हमारा ऐसा काम करेगा, मगर ये तो कोई न जाने ये मेरी मंजिल है कहाँ. My journey in our family business started in 2006 as a 22-year-old man, fresh with an American business degree, brimming with ideas, raring to go. Despite being the owner's son, I was given the position of a trainee in our family business, Manjushri Technopack Limited. I was surrounded by machines, managers, engineers, workers, and of course, Kamlama. Kamlama was the sweet lady who would serve tea to me every morning, and she was delighted to see that Chota Saab has finally joined the forces. And for me to walk into that shop floor every morning and to stroll through that walkway can be very overwhelmingly powerful for an owner's son. It can have huge expectations. The workers in their stained overalls would look at me with curiosity, often skepticism, pondering the contrasts in our lives. One of the first initiatives that I took was to organize a multifunction departmental meetings every Friday at 4 p.m. It was only fair that I took charge if I was given the responsibility. But the reality was very different. Everyone who came for that meeting was unprepared, unorganized, and at times I felt they were doing this purposely to make my life more difficult. It was frustrating that no one was taking me seriously. After one very trying meeting, the next morning I vented to my father over a breakfast. And I told him, Dad, no one is taking me seriously, no one is giving me bhav. He was having his breakfast calmly, sipping his tea, and he did not coddle me. And he told me something which would stay for the rest of my life. He said, Ankit, don't report to the plant manager if you don't want to, but you will not bypass him for anything. Everything that happens in that factory has to be done with the permission of the plant manager. You will not bypass him for anything. For a hot-headed entrepreneur like me, to swallow that pill at that age was so tough. It was one of the hardest things that I had to do. He did not massage my ego and told me things the way it was. And for my sake, I'm glad I did swallow that pill. The hunger to learn, the ambition to lead, combined with humility, can be such a game changer in the early days of your careers. And knowing the art of being fabulous without needing it to shout from the rooftops is maturity. Speaking of rooftops, a few years later, something blew my top 4 or 5 laters into the business. I'll come to it shortly. But to give you a context, we were the preferred choice of packaging for every consumer brand in the country, Reckitt Benckiser, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Himalaya, and all of them. We were growing at an astonishing rate. The demand for packaging hit the roof. And that is when all the trouble began. Customer service was slammed. We started getting a lot of complaints. Our delivery times were longer. Basically, shit had hit the fan. And I'm sure you're all wondering, आखिर कहना क्या चाहते हो? We dived straight into data. The thing about data is, data will never lie to you. It will disappoint you. It may make you angry, but it will always tell you the truth. Data will talk to you if you're willing to listen. The discovery was as follows. 85% of our revenues came from 40 customers. 15% of our revenues came from 628 customers. In the quest of servicing these 628 customers, they were eating into our bandwidth of servicing the larger whales. Another way to look at it is these customers were clearly outgrown. It was time to respectfully let them go. It was time to tell them that, we are not able to service your accounts anymore. What began as a complex negotiation with my family members, and look at the beauty of this. The first generation planted the seeds, watered it, nurtured, built rock solid relationships with these customers. And the second generation asserts that, Dad, this is not going to grow into a tree. They need to find a different home, and it may not be ours. These were the customers who stood by us in the formative years of Manjushri. And to tell them that they had to take the business elsewhere was one of the toughest things that I had to endure. And eventually, we pruned down that 600 customer list down to 100. Armed with that 15% of time that we now had, we went and acquired our biggest rival in North India. We collaborated with the central government to manufacture plastic parts for LED bulbs. We built one of the most robust R&D center equipped with a design studio and 3D printing. In a world full of passion, sometimes it's okay to be dispassionate. In a world full of hearts, it's okay to be mindful of a few things. And if you detach with logic, you will sleep well at night. With this detached logic, our family divested our controlling stakes in Manjushri to an American private equity fund for $400 million, a record valuation in the packaging industry globally at that time. All of these experiences paved the way for the inception of Capital A. Capital A is a fund, a venture capital fund that I founded in 2021 to invest in meaningful businesses building in enterprise sectors in deep tech, climate, and fintech. I believe that my 15 years of brick and mortar experience could be of enormous value to young entrepreneurs. I believed that a thesis-driven VC fund could create magical impact for entrepreneurs building in spaces like climate and deep tech. Most importantly, I believe that a second generation can dream to carve out their own niche and to be able to do that through an outlet of Capital A was the biggest validation of my belief in the venture capital and the startup ecosystem of India. This journey, my journey, is about creating an identity for myself, bridging generational gaps. It's about the courage and resilience of the first generation and the confidence and savviness of the second. As Obi-Wan Kenobi said, you will cling to most of the truth, and that depends largely on your point of view. Build your own point of view, build your core belief system, go after some of these beliefs with every energy in your cell, in your body. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Ankit Kedia.